and welcome to a routine episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. I don't know when this one's going to air. We're just kind of squeezing it in between interviews, but Becky was making me laugh so hard on the phone the other day. And has been on fire sending me voice messages. That is some serious Patreon content. No, you're
Becky's allowed to. No, Becky's allowed to send voice messages.
She sent
got the voice messages too.
No, it's about the sending. He's approving the sending.
Those messages were hilarious.
Because my messages need to be sent because I'm doing characters. Like I'm doing impersonations.
That's true. Becky does characters.
If you type it, it won't be as funny than if you do the voices.
Becky's are like an audio play.
Yeah. It's like a short.
Lily's are like she left her phone in her pocket and she's just talking and left your message on. Let their voicemail on.
Monologuing.
30 seconds.
Also a play, but it's just a one-act, one-woman show.
Where do you want to start?
Okay. I want to start with, okay, this is the story. I'm going to give the full trajectory. Yesterday morning, I get woken up at the ripe hour of 6:15 a.m. It is still pitch black out because my youngest has decided she wants to play Twister. And she wakes me up at 6:15 and will not let me go back to sleep until she drags me downstairs and we do like 3 full rounds of Twister.
Oof. I don't think I've ever played more than 1 round of Twister.
And we're doing it right.
I blame you. Why do you have Twister at your house?
Got it as a birthday present the day before.
You open that
for one of my kids
and return it secretly. You don't just let a Twister enter your home.
But having Twister is not necessarily problematic. That's a physical game without screens that the kids can play together.
You know what? That's an 80s game. There's no consent for all that touching.
Okay.
That is not a game that holds up for 2024.
It absolutely does hold up. What I could not have anticipated is that I would be the one that would need to play with her before the sun rises. So I'm not going to lie. I was struggling yesterday. I was struggling with my lack of sleep. And when I was chit-chatting with Shai, I was remarking on the fact that I seem to have been cursed because if one child sleeps in late, the other one wakes up and vice versa. I can't catch a break. They'll never sleep in on the same day. But then every once in a while, maybe once a year, they both will sleep in on the same day till like 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30 on the morning. And it's always on those fucking days that I agreed to drive Shai's kids to the bus at 7 o'clock. And I have to get up before the sun rises. And I swear to God, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. So that was our conversation. That's what we were really chatting about yesterday is this terrible streak of luck I have when it comes to never being allowed to sleep. So I know we were chatting about that.
What about you, Lil? What's happening in your world? I mean, last week you nearly caused a car accident at a child's birthday party.
Yes. I want to say that I think Becky's very funny. I think that, hot take, I think that Becky is funnier on text sometimes than in person.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows you're the funniest of the 3 of us.
In person, but not on text.
Pardon me.
Well, that's because Lily, no one understands what you're writing.
Okay, fine. But I'm just saying, Becky's fire on text.
I'm not as funny.
You're funny in person.
I think
your text game.
Oh, my text game is very elevated.
Very elevated.
It is
true.
So
I'm not saying you're not funny in person.
That's serious Patreon to get text from Becky.
So the other day I receive a calendar notification that says brunch to so-and-so's bar mitzvah not happening. Mom tells me there is no brunch. And this is on a shared work calendar for me and Becky and Shai. And in that very same moment, I get just a cold text from Becky that says, I think Shai is misusing the work calendar. Racking up. She was like, clear abuse of the work calendar. No context.
I try to be very transparent. And
it's as if, because like we all know
that, but like she assumes that we've both gotten on different continents notification at the same time. And she's like, I'm going to write you what you're thinking.
Okay, but here's what I imagine happened. Shine's wife.
Sunday. There's no conflict with work. Becky and I
No, hold on.
need that information.
Becky and I work on Sundays. Becky and I work on Sundays.
You what I think is going on here. What I think is going on is that Shy's wife is notoriously terrible at checking her text and WhatsApp. So I assume Shy needed to communicate with his wife.
Shy's just texting her through the calendar.
He's just sending her calendar invites with the information about their general lifestyle that he needs to convey.
This is okay. So first of all, I am okay. The calendar invite thing is because sometimes I'll look at our work calendar and it just says like Dr. Fabio. I don't know who that is.
I always put an LK.
Oh,
well, we're not. I don't know, Lily, if you want us to mention it on the podcast, but there was like that notorious.
Well, for like years, your hair removal guy kept sending me. Anyways, so that's why I was very descriptive about that particular thing. But I probably was also being descriptive for Allie because she was not paying attention. Now I had a calendar.
You don't always have to click SLB. BNL don't need to know your happenings on a Sunday morning if you're going to brunch or not.
You never know when we can have a call scheduled, and I like people to know I'm busy. So
is that cold text from Becky?
Yesterday, I was working on our work calendar because I'm a nerd. And I was trying to set up like an automation.
I think you've lost your calendar privileges.
And I set it up and I saw it work and I was like, I am a genius. I've learned how to use Zapier. Everything is great.
And then one of our colleagues sends a message.
And then a few minutes later, I'm in the car and my kids are like, Dad, why do you keep sending us invitations to Mom's birthday? And then
one more colleague texted you and was like,
I think I just got 15 messages from you reconfirming.
You write back. You made it seem like you were gaslighting him because you made it seem like, man, you got to sync your calendar better. That's how I read your message.
No, because I was doing voice to text. Anyways, then something happened with the save the date for my younger child's bat mitzvah. And like 40 people got 15 calendar invites in 15 minutes.
15 is a low
So I
number.
literally had to pull over the call and call Allie and tell Allie to go down into my computer and just disable everything. Shut it all down. Like in Star Wars when they shut down the track compactors, shut all of them down.
She had to just pull the computer out of the wall.
Cancel Gmail. It was very embarrassing. I had to send apology texts and emails.
Well, not as worse as the time I was in my early 20s and setting up my first ever LinkedIn account, not understanding how it worked, and invited every single person in the entire history of my contacts of all time.
It's a lot of ex-boyfriends.
With me and not.
Oh, Becky froze. We lost her. But that's a great picture.
Screenshot?
I think this is going to be our video this week. Like we can have so much good content. Make sure to smile and look really good, Lil. All right. That's going to be our video for this one. Just keep going.
It's amazing. I just want to do the closed captioning. Like, write your own caption. What is she saying? What is she saying? Write your own caption.
That's right. That's just this whole video.
There should just be a caption contest. Then you'll just post a picture of just her.
Oh, she's
gone. Thank God you took the picture. Now she's gone.
I don't know what Becky was saying, but I did once at my work. We were getting our flu shots at work. And I signed up for it and accidentally sent 300 people a calendar invite to my flu shot. And then I canceled it because I had to change the appointment. And then everybody was like, oh, how'd that flu shot go? I saw you canceled it. So, Lily, what have you been watching?
Okay, so I watched like 4 movies.
4 movies?
That's a lot for me.
Absolutely. I'm going to see The Heretic tonight.
I heard. I heard.
And
I just feel bad that your wife sees that like Hugh Grant's in a movie and she assumes it's a rom-com, but this is
no,
definitely
she knows it's a murder movie. She knows it's a murder.
I don't know. She's like, but who? Like with Bridget Jones? I'm curious. It looks really good though. That movie looks intense. I'm gonna run them down. I saw The Substance.
Oh yeah, I really want to see that.
Yeah, that was wild.
Body horror, right?
Body horror, serious body horror. Demi Moore's amazing.
Like Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Okay.
With like a feminist twist.
Okay, but I mean like that level of body horror or less?
It's as gross as The Fly. If not grosser.
Maybe grosser, because The Fly I rewatched and it was not as gross as I remember.
But like at the time, like how gross it felt for people at the time.
Mom, you just mentioned it to Mom and she's like, oh, with all the spitting and the vomiting.
It's definitely gross. The end goes off the rails, as a lot of these movies do. But I still enjoyed it. Like, I don't think I'd rewatch it. It's a little long. I'm not gonna lie. But Demi Moore is amazing, and Margaret Qualley's great too. And Dennis Quaid is great, but Demi Moore is fantastic. Blink Twice.
Oh, how was that? Zoe Kravitz?
So I really want you to see it because I want to talk about it with you.
It's an update for everybody. Becky just texted us. Is anyone else frozen? My Zoom just went. I think she's been talking this whole time.
Like that was like 15 minutes ago.
Anyways, okay, so you watched Blink Twice.
What are you two laughing about?
Becky, you froze 15 minutes ago.
Nobody seems stressed about the fact that my Zoom just like froze up and died. I reconnect and you two are giggling away as if I was never even in the conversation.
We assumed somebody pulled your internet out.
Maybe. We're having the kitchen painted, so it's possible.
So Lily was on to talking about Blink Twice.
Yeah, I think that like it's what did I write you guys? Promising Young Woman meets Ready or Not meets The Menu.
Okay, that seems that delivers on its promise.
Like what it's advertising. There's a cool twist, which makes me be like, it's really great when a movie has a cool twist and you don't see it coming. I think they maybe could have done the twist like a little bit better. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. It has, I would love to, and it's not long. I would love for you and Becky to see it so we could talk more in depth about it, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're Zoe Kravitz and that's your directorial debut, why not? I mean,
good job.
Congratulations. Like, good job. No, like, I have nothing to say there. Like, way to go. Yeah, I don't think it does not look like an easy movie to make, necessarily, although it's smart. It's in one location, actually, like 2 locations, and that's it.
That's just good producing.
Right, exactly. So I think acting is pretty good in it. So I'm curious what you guys think. Becky, I talked about Substance 30. You missed all of that. You can't watch that movie.
I'm anxious about seeing that.
You can't.
Becky's anxious about knowing that movie exists.
Yeah, Becky will throw up for sure. Juror number 2, Clint Eastwood's film. I don't know how that man is directing at 107, but not bad. It's like a good, moral jury.
Like 12 Angry Men or like Runaway Jury?
It's 12. It's a twist on 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
It is basically, it's I think it's good. The kid, oh my God, Nicholas Hoult. He's great.
Yeah.
Hoult. Yeah. He's
in The Substance.
J.K. Simmons, Chris Messina.
When did you start joining the podcast? I'm on 2 movies later from The Substance.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Becky's just texting.
Wow. What a crew.
Kiefer did a day on the movie.
Okay.
You can
well, he's not at the top of the.
Okay, when they.
I can
not
tell,
at the top of the list. He's at the.
Zoe Kravitz. She was able to make her movie because there's 2 locations. Juror number 2. Kiefer did a day on the.
You're so good at watching movies. I'm so bad at watching movies. Honestly, these days, I get in front of my I'm going to give another recommendation for Frankie Frico, also because it's an hour and 22 minutes. It's very easy to sit down and watch that. I have a really hard time sitting down and watching movies these days because they're so goddamn long.
Juror number 2, not long. Substance is very long. So that's like something, I found it long. And then I technically watched Megalopolis.
You watched it?
Wow.
What do you mean you technically watched it? What is
I do hear Aubrey Plaza is fantastic.
Like it was on and you fell asleep?
That's like the big buzz around that movie is that she's great in that movie.
She's excellent. I have about 40 minutes to go. I don't think I can finish it.
Oh, you haven't finished it. You're just...
Yeah. I feel
have
like
a hard time
I did enough.
finishing movies, but I'm starting to get there.
This one. And, you know, what Jose said it best.
Well, I walked out of Poor Things and I don't regret it. I looked at the Wikipedia page to find out what happened.
I liked Poor Things, but I think that like am I saying it right even? Megalopolis?
I think it's Megalopolis.
Jose said it best. He was like, you know, I don't have to finish it. Like I've seen enough to, you know, and that's not great. You don't want anyone to say that about your movie. When I have the time, I feel like I will sit down and watch the rest. I think there's a lot of really cool things about it. It's hard to wrap my head around that somebody spent $120 million of their own dollars on it.
I mean,
privately, that's a lot of money.
He got to make the movie he wanted to make.
But I kept saying to myself, I was like, you know what? He clearly made the movie he wanted to make. It's basically like a Shakespeare type story set in the future of like a New York in the future.
But like which type of Shakespeare? Like Midsummer Night's Dream? Like funny?
No, like a Romeo and Juliet, maybe kind of vibe.
You don't seem convinced.
It's like a Capulet Montague vibe.
Okay.
Like of two families who hate each other, but two people from the families will fall in love. But like I got a chunk into the movie. They haven't really fallen in love yet, but that's happening. That will happen. Aubrey Plaza's great.
Is she the main character?
No, she's a side character.
Okay.
She's not the main. The girl from Game of Thrones is the main character with Adam Driver.
Well, what's it about?
It is about a corrupt mayor of a kind of a corrupt mayor of a New York City, I guess, who wants to control building and like make a casino and stuff like that versus the design authority, which is basically a high position in the city, which is an architect who's in charge of like beauty and aesthetics and design. And that's Adam Driver. And basically two politicians against each other.
But does it take place in the future?
It's in the future. Oh. And Adam Driver's wife like died mysteriously and he created a substance that you can build with that is mysterious, and he won the Nobel Prize for it, and he wants...
But it's made out of people.
I don't spoil it for everyone.
But is it like Soylent Green situation?
I think it is. They allude to it. Like, they literally said, did you make it out of your dead wife? So, I'm like, did they just give it away? You know, Adam Driver's so good, though. Like, he's so good and awesome to watch. Good. What I think I appreciate is that everybody who's in the movie was like, this is Coppola. Like, talk about being along for someone's ride, you know? And there are some images that are visually stunning that like came from a dream that he created with, you know, the means that he had to create them. So those are like, there's some really, really cool cinematography and visual effects stuff. It's like the dialogue's a bit of a drag, though. I'm not going to lie. It's written in like a Shakespearean type dialogue, I guess, or like old timey. I don't know. It's
written in old timey dialogue, but it takes place in the future.
Yeah, they're talking as if they're in a play.
Believable. That's believable.
But it's the future.
I feel like that's
the architect is Caesar, and they have a gladiator scene type like Roman scene, and John Voight is in it actually. And Dustin Hoffman and Jason Schwartzman and Talia Shire and Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, I've seen her in one scene so far, but like if you love film, definitely check it out. Let me know what you think.
Look, Coppola's one of those guys where he wants to make his own movie. Let him make his own movie.
I hope he's happy. Like
I just
need
want
the thing that he
I
wants.
just want the movie about the making of Apocalypse Now, starring Dan Fogler as
Oh,
Coppola, as a
yes.
follow-up to
Yeah,
The Offer. I just want to watch. I
would
want
be
to now watch the
amazing.
story of every Coppola movie being made, but with
Played by Dan
Fogler.
This one must
as
be
Coppola.
wild. This one has to be like the rumors about the making of this movie must be wild.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what I got. 4 movies.
I'm going to see The Heretic. I don't think I have anything new. I've watched the movie. I've been watching a lot of old 80s wrestling stuff and YouTube videos about arcade games. Beck, have you? I feel like you didn't see anything.
I saw in the theaters. We already talked about Wicked and Moana 2.
Oh, okay.
And I
So you had
started
a good run.
I started Drops of God.
Oh, what'd you think of that so far?
Thoughts?
No, we're super into it. Yeah. We're super into it.
Vlad's gonna make a vineyard though. Vlad's gonna have a vineyard.
Episode A felt a little bit like melodramatic.
Don't worry.
It's out after
The
that.
first two
Yeah.
He's like
are like every
dramatic,
streaming show.
And I think I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep for like a while during the second
You have to go back and watch. You can't.
No. I fell asleep many times during the show
for a while, and I like woke up and I was like, "What did I miss?" And he goes, "I don't know. It's been silent. She's in a dark hall. No one's talked for 7 minutes."
Well, because she's getting her powers.
Right. Like the second episode is her like getting her powers. So
They cycle through that pretty quickly.
So, but by the end, when she gets her superpowers, then
you're off to the races.
But she has her superpowers. Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about it is that each chapter, it wasn't like the whole show is going to be her learning how to taste wine. Like she takes 2 episodes, it's resolved. They move on to the next challenge, and I think that's a great thing about the show. So people should be patient when they watch it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, with all that being said, this was a nice little mini ep.
Great catch up.
Yeah, great catch up. And I love you guys. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.